Hello there. Good evening. I have a stuck chat right down there. Um, why isn't this going away? There we go. Good evening. Hi, Cosmic Ray. Up and imaging already. That's great. I'm Mark Young. Hello. How's it going? Thanks for joining. I had originally scheduled this for 8 p.m. Central, and like about an hour ago, I had to push it forward an hour because something came up last minute, but I'm here. Good news is it may have been a one-off, so hopefully next time this won't happen. It won't happen. So hello, Dark Shades. How's it going? I hope everybody is well. I uh, I had I did manage to get the telescopes out earlier, and I was ready to go, but so as a result, they're currently imaging Deneb, as I've done on previous nights. But let me switch over to that. That's the all sky camera. What is it looking like moon wise? Um, it's 24% above the 24 degrees above the horizon, so we're going to be dealing. I mean, it's obstructed by buildings, so it's not terrible. Uh, Here's the. Oh, let's see. I think because I had gotten everything going in another room, and I'm still running this locally, and I relocated, and it ended up I ended up it lost connection to the Seestars, and anyway I had to restart everything. But let's see. One thing. Okay, good. So you can see, well, where's the stats? Um, One thing so I always try to demo something new if there is anything new, and Wiley Site just earlier today committed this new I'm going to call it dashboard for lack of a better term for it. That's on the commands page, but it's modular, so it could be moved elsewhere. But it shows kind of the state of because I've restarted Seestar ALP. It kind of some of these were green and now they're kind of reset. But yeah, you can. I might go ahead and restart one of them so you can see it in action. But when you're stacking, you can see the last status, number of stack dropped, and fail rate, which is pretty cool. But let's go ahead and I'm gonna just go ahead. Oh, so this is something because of Cosmic Ray talking about not being able to see. I mean, the text, either the image was too small, the image and text were too small, and so this is only in my local copy. That dashboard is available now for everybody, but this what I'm about to show you is only mine. That I've just been kind of playing around with it, where it should be showing the stats. I don't know why it isn't right now, but uh, if I mouse over, it actually puts the stats over the frame, so we can do a quick check on things. But otherwise, you can just kind of look at the images. But let's go ahead and stop both of these. And actually, maybe maybe I'll go ahead and, which one do I want to redo? I'll redo one. And so I'm going to go to the commands window here, and I'm going to switch to telescope. Actually, I'm going to switch to the federated view, which we'll see if we can get this to fit. Actually, maybe I'll redo both of them. So they're both stopped, I think. Let me double check that they're both stopped. Wait, did I stop this one? No, I haven't stopped this one. Let me stop this one. And then let me stop and see, you can see it updates here. It said it was canceled. And then I can switch this one. This one's still running, so I can stop it. And you should see it reflect over here. Okay, fine. So now I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to reboot both of the telescopes right now. At the risk of breaking things, I'm just going to go ahead and reboot them. And pay no attention to that error. So you can see they're both rebooting. They're parking themselves. And after they're parked, they'll be, this one will be in a position where you'll see the light on the side. Hello, Turf. How's it going? So it's kind of moving slowly. Okay. And so now they're both parked. Now, what I'm going to do here is, hold on a second. I'm just restarting something. Okay, so they're both kind of in the initial state as if they just were started up. So let's go look at this, and you can see they're idle here. This is the federated view because I have two telescopes. If you just went to the, you know, if you just have a single telescope, it's a similar view. It's basically just showing you the same boxes, but for one. But if you have more than one, it'll show you that. So what we're going to do is we'll send hello. No sky for you tonight. Oh, that's too bad. Clouds in Arizona. Yeah, no, we have a stretch here of like a week or more of supposedly clear skies. Now, we'll see. Sometimes Astrospheric will say it's clear, and then it ends up not being clear, or some scattered clouds. Like, it's clear, mostly clear, but not like completely astronomically clear, if that makes sense. But there's going to be another front. We're kind of in this pattern now where we get a series of fronts and it kind of keeps it clear. And there's another one arriving in a few days. So it might actually be clear for over a week, which would be great. So both of the telescopes are kind of in their basic state, and I'm going to execute the startup sequence on both. And you can watch as it's doing that. It's starting, you start seeing the status update. And let me go look at this. And you'll see that they're starting to kind of unpark themselves and kind of move the arm up. And is it still? Hello, Seiko. How's it going? How are you today? Hope everyone's having a good day. Yeah, it's better than it was for me earlier today. It was a bit chaotic. So they're kind of unparking right now. Okay, they're both kind of where they need to be, which is pointing this way. So let's go back to this screen. And I'm only showing you the camera view just to kind of get an idea of what the telescope's doing. And then let's go, actually, I'm trying to figure out how to do this most. I'm going to go to Deneb again. You hit go, and let's hit submit. And I want to go right to the show you the commands page so you can start seeing what it's doing. It's starting to move to the target. Although, is it updating the moving? I think it's moving. Is it moving? Did I hit go? I think I hit go. Oh yeah. So because it's going to a new target and then it's trying to find Deneb, you see it's starting to do the plate solving on both of them. Now that would be something. I mean, so like if you have a schedule, you'll kind of see it going through the various steps. So it should be, if we go back to the live view, oops, I'm just manually keying in the live. And why is that so large? We'll wait for that to, oh, it's still auto. Sorry, actually, let's go look at that. Okay, so it's still plate solving. And let's see. So do you ever have issues with cords wrapping around the tripod? Generally, no. One of the cords is really long, and I haven't really had an issue with that one. Like it's got tons of slack, but the other one doesn't have nearly as much slack, and I haven't really run into an issue. I mean, maybe it helps my skies where the telescopes are, they're just kind of going either left or right. They can't really go back, point towards the west because they're too obstructed. So they're only kind of 180-degree kind of angle that they're looking at. So for me personally, I don't have issues with it. ALP live images is a lot better. Yeah, I mean, that's I think mostly because it's the same data, but it's using ALP's using a better stretch, and it's much better. Change the gain on the fly. I tried it once, and it was kind of not. It wasn't. It didn't. It rejected the command, and I never looked at it again. I don't know if it was, operator error or something else, but I've already focused these, but I'm going to go ahead and trigger an autofocus so you can see what happens here. So you can see now it's starting the autofocus. And so this is the state you'd see it in. Once you kind of get going in the evening, you'll start seeing it kind of working through the different states. And let me trigger this other one, the autofocus. And so you can see this one will start going in a moment if I actually hit it. Okay, and it actually showed you. Maybe I didn't actually hit the button. Let me go back and trigger that. Oh no. Yeah. Yeah, operator error. I actually was pointing at the same telescope twice. So let's try this again. Okay. And then I'll hit focus. And so you can see, so if you have like an automated schedule set up where it kind of works through a number of steps automatically with, I mean, I'm doing this manually, but you could look at this screen and you'll see it kind of, going through the various steps and kicking off autofocuses and yeah, so once that's done, I'm going to go ahead and start imaging, and then it will go through the 3-point the 3-point polar line, the horizontal calibration, and you'll also see it do the dark frame. So I'm going to go ahead and start record here. Now I'm doing, like I say, I'm doing these steps manually. If you had a schedule, it would do the target go to, and for the first target, it would do through the calibration. So you wouldn't have to have live view up necessarily if you just were kind of watching and going through those states. Is it? I was going to say, is it working? But I should just like look at here because you can see the different steps it's going through. So let me trigger this one as well, and we can watch it. Oh man. Oh, right. So you can see it's working, and as it is trying to go through the different steps for the 3-point alignment, you'll see it doing the plate solving, and so you can see working 100% complete. This one's at 40%. And then once that's done, this will go green and it'll start doing the dark library, and then it'll start stacking, which is where we started, where both of them are on stacking. But yeah, this is a nice kind of single pane of glass to watch it. More of an issue. Oh, the cord getting wrapped up. Yeah, I haven't. Oh, plate solve failed. They both failed. Oops. Did it just give up on it? Maybe I need to do a different target. Oh, and it didn't help that it ran into an obstruction. But that was oh, but it's still trying. Failed. It's just failing all over the place. So this one failed to horizontally calibrate, but now it's moving on to the dark frame. Yeah. Yeah, no, that's fair. I mean, you can get, if you're worried about it getting kind of too wound, you can get a kind of MagSafe connector type ends. I have them somewhere around here. It's like a it's like it's a USB cable, and it has interchangeable magnetic tips, and one of them is like a lightning connector, and one of them is a USB-C, and so you could have that little bit plugged in, and then the magnetic cord. So if it got too wound, it would kind of release the cord. And to be honest, I'd probably use that if I had a situation where I was potentially having it go 360. Yeah, favorite list. It's on my list to add favorite list. I think we just need to well, I mean, yeah, there's a lot of things in progress at the same time right now to kind of improve the workflow. And if you have a schedule done ahead of time, like these steps where I'm, manually going to a target and plate solving, you wouldn't have that. It would just be kind of going through your schedule. And the first one would do all this, but then you could see at a glance which ones were, like I know now that this one didn't do the horizontal calibration, which is always what happens with Telescope 2. It actually worked the first time when I did it earlier, but I rebooted it, and now it's forgot how to calibrate itself. So it'll calibrate on the next target. But yeah, so they're both stacking already. So if we go back to live view, we should see, yeah, they're both stacking. Cool. So that's just kind of an overview of this new kind of dashboard status that's on the commands page, which is pretty cool. And like I say, it's modular, so it might end up, it will likely end up in other places, I'm sure. So now that I've got them running, let's look at my list of what I was going to do tonight. So the first thing I'm going to do is I had actually tried, see, this might be too late, kind cosmic ray suggested a bunch of dark nebula yesterday, or last live stream, and I actually, while I was messing around with some things last night, I actually tried pointing at them, but a lot of them are very challenging as far as my backyard and visibility before they go behind a, yeah, like this one's iffy. Let's see, what was the other one? It was, there were several of them. Actually, what was that one? I have these notes here and I'm, okay, cool. I just had to change the order. This would be another thing that, yeah, I mean, there's lots of work to be done. I was thinking how some of this would be nice to tie into the planning page, but I know there's already a long list of things to do on that screen. I'm just turning off the night shift functionality so the screen doesn't start going yellow. Yeah, it is did it? Why isn't the hello? Okay. The Wi-Fi briefly glitched, and so full disclosure, yeah, every day the program looks better. It really does. It's and I know Kai, who started the project, he's been trying to get other front end developers for some ideas of some things he wants, some visualizations and stuff. So yeah, it's probably not going to slow down. But by the way, just one full disclosure: if it starts buffering, please let me know, or if I freeze. Like earlier today, like the day started off kind of a little iffy. I had that my internet connection went down for like an hour or two first thing this morning, and my computer keeps saying it's buffering, but I don't know if it's my normal issues or if it's actually an issue with my internet connection. Hopefully it isn't an issue with the internet connection. Yeah. Yes. Thank you, Cheap Astro. Thanks for joining, and good evening there. Or but yes, please, if you haven't liked it, please like it now. It does actually help. Recent live streams have actually had, I think it's been helping generally, like more people have been showing up and asking questions and liking the video, which helps more people show up, and then plus we get, great suggestions and questions, and it just helps. It helps the stream, but it also helps this program, well, not this program, but the ALP's SSC program get better. So it's definitely appreciated. So yeah, the network, and really, like on this screen, on the stats screen, where it shows you like on this screen where it shows you the kind of the overall stats on the Seestar, and one of them is the Wi-Fi. I've thought we should flag Wi-Fi values that might be a little weak, because especially if you're using, especially if you're using certain screens, definitely live view, but a few other ones really need bandwidth, and if your Wi-Fi isn't strong enough, or like in my case, it would have been okay if I was trying to do just a single telescope, or I wouldn't have had as many problems if I was just working with a single telescope. But because I was trying to run two on Wi-Fi that was marginal, it was bad. And so that's why I ended up finally having to like rerun them, like redo, like the house is a newer house. So it has the Cat 5s. I just had to, it was wired up as phone lines for some reason, I guess. It's new enough, but not new enough, you know, like they like who needs 10 a phone line in like 10, you know, every room. I have actually seen Yagi antennas, but actually I used to actually have a Yagi antenna for Wi-Fi, but it wasn't for it was for like really old um yeah, like they do have them, but the trick is having a Wi-Fi I mean, it wouldn't unless it was yeah, with a stock Pi you wouldn't have that. You'd have to have a card or a USB adapter, Wi-Fi adapter that had a connector on it that you could use it. And like there's dishes too if you really really want to go all out. But yeah, Yagi antenna that would be that would fix it perhaps. Um, so these are running. So I'm going to stop both of them and we're going to go to the first target, which was um, at in half an hour. The someone mentioned the Silver Sliver galaxy, and I'll try that. But let's see if we can see some of these dark nebulas here. Um, I did try that B1 Bernard 150, and it was well, I was having massive noise issues in one, and it was I don't think I could get enough time on it. But let's see. Let's see what position this is in. Yeah, it's a little iffy. So let's look at B144. That's even more iffy. Um, I know I may have mentioned this before, but I might end up somewhere with this might be a thing to try on Friday. Honestly, I'm probably going to do another live stream Friday, and if I start right at 8 and go to one of these targets, like if I have everything polar aligned ahead of time, I should be able to image these before they go out of sight. How have I done with the Pi 5? It's still in the box, so not well. It's been busy. I've been very busy recently. There's a guy on Etsy that modifies Raspberry Pis for external. I mean, because I've seen that where people have motherboards that have. I mean, you can get like small or embedded computer motherboards that'll have the Wi-Fi connector or like kind of like the embedded wireless cards. But yeah, I mean, I think on the Pi, I think there's like headers, like like traces on the motherboard that are related to the Wi-Fi. So I could see that where that would be interesting to get one of those because then you could plug any antenna. You could get like you could really go crazy. I mean, years ago I had it was granted it was like with the basic 802.11b like the base standard. I had some amplifiers for it. Um yeah. 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 I mean, you know, I was at Micro Center recently and they had like they actually had some of those like long haul. It wasn't the air fiber, but it was some other product like that where you can where it had like the kind of outdoor dishes, as fairly small ones, but that had some pretty good throw. Uh, so yeah, I think unfortunately these dark nebulas might be something to do on Friday. So in the meantime, there was, like I say, there's a target I want to do the silver sliver, but anytime after, from starting at half an hour will be fine. I'm trying to see what would be a good target that I haven't done before. Is there suggestions? What is this one? One thing I really want, I mean, it's not kind of maybe the biggest feature, but one thing I really would like to do is get is to add the ability to be able to add an item to the schedule. So I could start a schedule like with a target and then continue to do research, you know, during the stream and then add more things to the schedule instead of what I do now where I'll end up stopping the schedule and then kind of, I think there was some discussion of adding that. Am I buffering? Is this just my computer? Okay, it was just brief. I hope it stays going. Oh, you can add now? Oh, well, that's good to know. I know there was some work. It had been discussed, but see, I'm not. I don't even pay. Or I try to keep track of. Okay, yeah, can't modify an existing. That makes sense. That would be difficult. $39 tiny panel. Yeah, those. Like I say, they had a few. They had some smaller panels, but then they had like some longer distance ones at Micro Center when I was there recently. There was something up by North American Nebula that I thought. Oh, did somebody mention? Did somebody mention the jewel bug? Maybe not. No. There was some target that someone mentioned that I thought was up here somewhere. Oh, you can delete that. Okay. Well, that's good to know. So those are like features in the back end, but there isn't a screen for it yet. What would be a good suggestion? Maybe not a mosaic. Well, oh, yeah, yeah. I'm gonna do. I'm definitely gonna do silver sliver. The lion, the cave, the lion, the witch, and the wardrobe. The lion, the cave. I wonder if there is a witch. Oh, well, there is a witch. So there's a lion and a witch. Wait. Okay, this one is. Oh, I could try. I could try this. It was the B150. Yeah. I think. Let me see how much longer that'll be visible. Um. Could be visible 20 minutes. Let's do that one. Let's start with that one. The LDN. I need to have another window open here. Because what I want to do is have the go-to, but I want to be able to watch what it's doing up here. I mean, actually, no. I want to schedule this or image. I want to, well, I'll go to schedule, image, LDN, 1082. I don't know if I want to do, I think I was doing it without, but it was, I was doing it without the light pollution filter, but I was getting massive gradient on it. So I'm going to do 20 minutes because I don't think it'll last that long. So let's go ahead and try that. And we should start seeing some activity up here. Yep. Filter wheel. And I think it's moving up. Yeah, plate solving starting. Yeah, and Cygnus wall. I don't know how high Cygnus is for me. Actually, yeah, Cygnus wall. Dang it. Which one is the wall? Is that part? Oh, wait. Sorry. What's in my little window? Which window? Which window? I've got a lot of windows going on here. Chief Aster, which window are we talking about? Did I? Yeah, I did, I think. I'm pretty sure I did do that M31 mosaic, but I mean, I know I did it at some point on stream. I don't know if it was last stream, but I did do M31. I did it in A-step. There were definitely some No, I may not have. I know I did a mosaic. I think I did a mosaic on stream at one point, and it had seams, visible seams, because I didn't crop the individual frames. But yeah, the mosaic of the Eastern together. But I think the problem is just the amount of time. I know Wiley's site has gotten good results from that. The other thing that bothers me right here, at least where I am, it's at this time it's 80 degrees, and that's kind of that's not this instant. It's actually it's 85 degrees, even worse. It's too high. I wouldn't be able to image it well here. NGC 1788. Let's try that. Cosmic bat. That sounds interesting. That is below the horizon, so yeah, not visible right now. Oh, the little window in the sky stellarium. Oh, you mean the red, the box? When I go, what am I looking for? You mean like this one? The red thing? Is that what you're talking to? What will I image? Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. My sadly limited sky. Oh yeah, and also I haven't updated my my horizon yet. I need to do that. I really do. You did a nice video on that. I need to do that. HD 211982. Oh, yeah, that would be visible. Is that like something else, or is that just... That's interesting. I wonder, is that in some catalog that I'm missing, or that I don't have turned on? Or is that actually the name? I mean, because that's HD, isn't that usually the star? Custom object. I'll try that one. That looks interesting. Oh, I wasn't thinking. So I had both telescopes point at this target, and they're both failing. I wonder if they're I think the object B1, this is also Bernard 150. I think it's obstructed. So I think that's my problem right now. And plus I didn't do this right way anyway. I meant to do it as a panorama with splitting it between the two telescopes, and I didn't. So, we have the lion. What else do we have? Oh, I'm going to try one of them, pointing one of them at this HD 211. And I think I have too much going on here. I'm going to close this down and go back to just telescope A and schedule. I'm just going to do it this way. Image HD 211982. Look it up. One thing I notice is when I in using the Simbad lookup, if I type B150, it didn't find it, but if I type Bernard 150, it found it. I'll try 30 minutes for this. And I'll try it looks like a target. I'd want to use the light pollution filter, so I'm going to increase the gain. I've been trying I tried 80 and the default is 80. I've tried 110, 150. I did a few as 150, but now I'm trying just 110 to see how that goes. Yeah, see, look, that's why we couldn't get B150, the LDN. What was that again? LDN 1082. I did image the lion. And why does it say this one's offline? That's not very reassuring. Yeah, the problem is the elapsed time that we're showing here, and that's kind of a known thing that people have been asking about. That elapsed time is from the time it acquired the target and started stacking. So it includes dithering time. It includes all your failed frames. And so that time will be, it's not the cumulative amount of good data you have. It's just the amount of time it's spent on the target. And yeah, that needs to be not fixed. Like that's a useful number, but it should probably be de-emphasized, and the number that comes from the Seestar of how much accumulated time you have should be more prominently displayed. Okay. Yeah. That is weird because it's got the nebulosity around it. Oh, you got clouds? That's annoying. That is always annoying. Is this actually doing something? Wait, which telescope did I did? I did A. So why does this one say it's offline? Okay, just had to reload. So this one should be stacking actually already. I haven't committed this because I'm not sure I like it. I think I want to do like a smaller box and maybe make it kind of like translucent or something. But there we go. Okay, you can see, darn it. I might have to disable it, but you can see kind of the nebulosity in the center. So that's good. What would be the other one? Just we were gonna look at. What other one did we want to look at? Oh, it was a joke, but I'm like, okay, so we have Lion Nebula, which is visible. Oh, that is the Lion Nebula. Seiko, that is the Lion Nebula. It's SH2132. So the HD star is embedded in it, but the SH2132 is the Lion Nebula. So we're imaging the Lion Nebula. Now, where's the witch? Oh, we have the wizard, but the witch I think is not visible right now. Sometimes. Oh, there's a witch head, witch's broom, flying witch. Witch head, where's witch head? Witch head is not visible. Which direction is it? It was visible, right? Oh no, it's to the east. It'll be visible later tonight. So you got the witch. There's a flying witch. Which way? That's also below the horizon. And what about this other witch? Witch's broom. Oh, witch's broom is visible, but it's almost near. Oh, it's part of the veil. It's the west veil. It's also known as the witch's broom. And then there is. Now, is there a wardrobe? No wardrobe. So no lion, witch, and wardrobe. Not today. Although somebody should try to name something a wardrobe nebula. We need it. Yeah. And for whatever reason, it wasn't marking it as such on my stellarium, but yeah, sometimes it won't even show you those unless you check, unless you turn them on. Let me see. No, wrong one. Set. No. Is it this one? No, that's totally wrong. Wrong. Oh, yeah, extras. No? There was one where you could specify what catalogs. Which one was that? Not this. And not. Oh, this one. So you go DSO. And I don't have the SH2 turned on, so you can turn on SH2. Oh, that's why. I had turned it on the other night, but I didn't save the settings. I didn't store the preference, so when I restarted it, those settings went away. So I'll turn that back on. I'll go ahead and store the preference. And then, yeah, so it's under this option, which is, yeah. And so if I go back to, oops, if I go back to no wardrobe for us, I need to turn that. And then go to Lion Nebula. Yeah, now it has. Oh, sorry, let me turn this off. But yeah, now it has it marked. So if I click on it, it also has this thing over here, which is Bernard 389 or 369. I wonder what the field of view is on that one. Maybe I'll do that one. Maybe I'll also center it on this one. That way we get our dark nebula as well. At least for now. Let's go B369 and just see how much detail we can get. And maybe I'll crank up the gain on it too, just because. Clear image, Bernard. What did I say it was? 369. Search. Do I have to do a space in there? Yeah, space of the 30 minutes. I'm going to try 200 gain. Why not? I don't know if it'll help or hurt, but we'll try it. And should I do light pollution filter or no? I'll try no light pollution filter and we'll see what happens. So this is Bernard 369, which is actually right next to this Lion Nebula. but it's a dark nebula, so kind of a mosaic, but not quite. Yeah. I actually have my water in a position where I don't have to go stretch to get it. Yeah, one of the things I was wanting to do tonight was build the new image, but I was going to run everything on the Linux computer, but I ran out of time. But the mini PC is right behind this the screen. It's down here. I'd pick it up, but I'd probably unplug it. So I'm going to try logging into it remotely and see what we can do about building a new image. If a person installs the beta and upgrades the firmware, I'm not 100% sure. I'm not 100% sure about downgrading. I know if you have it rooted, I know there's some people who've been able to downgrade, I think. Yeah, but I don't know if it required them to be rooted, their telescope to be rooted. Have I kept that? No, I haven't, unfortunately. But that's actually one of the things I think that might be coming. We might add some historical analysis because right now these numbers just are very transient. So this is 220 right now, which I think there was some discussion on whether or not we want to have it here or on the stretched image, or if there's something about this number that needs to be modified. So like maybe it has to be normalized differently, but that's probably going to be something for another day. Just wanted to see what this looks like. Okay, so you can see this is stacking. And this one is just starting the stack. Yeah, so that shows that looks all reasonable. So this, I'm trying to see if is this. Yeah, I'm trying to place where this is. It's actually not that far over from this image. If you look at this, so here's the Lion Nebula, which this one is centered on, but then the other one is centered on this B369. See these two stars right here next to each other? That's this star and this one here. So you can see this one is kind of shifted up and to the left. So you should see some kind of faint nebulosity up here eventually. And then some of the detail of the edge of this one. So there'll be some nebulosity down here. Now I didn't do the light pollution filter on this one, and I'm not sure if that was a mistake or not. Because of the gradients I have, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. And I have like a 200 gain on the one on the right. And what does this show for? This SNR 78. It's pretty abysmal. But, well, it's going up. So that is going. Yeah. No, that's fair. I mean, some of it was kind of an experiment, like for me, when I'm live streaming, where, to be able to focus on the image itself, but then quickly be able to view it. And I was using kind of the technique I used on my website, but it's a little too intrusive because like I'm trying to show something here and just that I mouse over it ends up popping in. So that's not ideal. Oh, one thing I noticed, the other night, or last night, I was doing some testing and I was getting some massive artifacts on this one. And this is the one that has the artifacts anyway. I ended up on this commands page. I ended up going to here. Was it here? Oh, here. I created a dark frame. I manually, like when you start imaging, it creates a dark frame, but I was partway. I wasn't imaging at the time. I hadn't restarted it, but I went ahead and forced it to do another dark frame, and it cleared up all the kind of weird. Like this isn't as bad as I had, but it was like all over the image. It was, tons of the green and red. So we'll have to keep an eye on this. If this one starts getting bad, I might force another dark frame on that. Because when I did it the other night, it was clean afterwards. So maybe as it heats up or something, or like the telescope itself heats up from imaging or working, it's causing it to get worse. I don't know. Um, Theoretically, it should. The problem is that's such an old image. I'm not 100% sure if it's robust and works, which is part of the reason why I wanted to, because there have been changes to the script. And so that's why I want to kind of create another image. And yeah, I mean, it's going to be out of date, but I've it's possible to automate some of it, and I have thought about, just automating it where once a day it generates a new image, just kind of on a schedule. And there was the other thing I also wanted to do besides the image I had created is kind of the works image. I think it was on the last live stream. People were suggesting some things, but I want to add the all sky camera. Like I'll have just the plain Seestar Alp, but then I'll have one with a few other things like the all sky camera software, the thing I run over here. Like this software would be installed. Cockpit, which is a kind of a cPanel, kind of being able to do system level changes or modifications or check on services and log files at the Raspberry Pi level without having to log into it remotely. And it would also have Rasp AP. So if you wanted to set it up as a hotspot, you could. Like it would all be basically bundled in one. And, people wouldn't have to install it, but part of it, like it could be useful, and that would probably be the image I would personally be running, just because I've had this idea for a while of kind of building out a more comprehensive image that people could use, and I would personally would run it like on this Pi 5 I have that's still sitting helpfully in the box. Yeah, see a look at the this is really, you mentioned it, but now this is really going to annoy me. It's live coding time. Actually, hold on. I need to do something here real quick. It's something's like the software I have. Sometimes it gets confused. Maybe I can just do it this way. Okay, cool. I was trying to quit something. So let's go live star, and here's this overlay I created. So let me comment that out, and that's why I wasn't showing the card. Because it was too much to have two because of that limit of the number of simultaneous connections, I was pulling it twice. So I should be able to just reload, and it's going to think about it for a bit. Okay. And so now now it's not doing the overlay. So let me reload this one. And now where is, oh, there it is. Okay. Oh. No, that's not, hold on a second. Let's try this again. So close. Is it live base? Oh. Why is it doing that? Hold on a second. Card status. Oh yeah, I added this thing dimmable. Let's get rid of that. Okay, let's try this again because like that was kind of obnoxious. Okay, so that I need to reload this one, and we are so where are the images under Pi Alp stored? So did you turn on the saving of frames? Because if you did, it's it should be in the, oh, it might not be saving the frames. You have to create the directory. Unfortunately, it doesn't create the directory itself. It's kind of, that's a problem. But the default location is not that. It is, let's try this again. The default location is just the current, where it's running out of. So I don't know if that is going to be the home directory or if it's going to be the Seestar Alp directory. But the problem is it saves them in this directory. So it saves it in a directory called frames, and then the target. But see, this is, yeah, this is wrong. Not wrong, but it's incomplete. I need to change this and then oh, hey, good night, Cheap Astro. Thanks for joining. Appreciate it. Have a good evening and a good night. I deleted too much. Okay, so there's that. And what I need to do is, I've been meaning to do this, and unfortunately, of course, I forgot to circle back on it. So bugs fixed as you wait. So you, oh, whoa. You can set them, hold on. What did I just do? Where is the place I should, where do I set the place images should be saved? You can specify it in config toml, your config file. Unfortunately, I don't think I put it in the config editor screen. So if you go in here, it's not visible. That directory isn't visible. And I don't think save frames is even visible right now intentionally. So you have to go, add save frames under web UI settings. So I have it turned to false, and then save frames dir. And here I had it pointing at an external SSD, but you can set it to whatever path you want. And but the problem is right now, what is it? It's just complaining about shadowing a variable. The problem is right now it's a nested directory. So under the save frames dir, it also wants a directory called frames, the name of the target you're imaging, and then this kind of image dir, which is like, is it a dark? Is it lights? So it's basically frame, target, and then lights. And if you're doing darks, dark. But the problem is it doesn't create that directory for you. So you can manually create it ahead of time. But what I'm doing now is fixing that. Okay. Let's see. I'm just double checking to see if this works. Yeah, cool. That's what I wanted. I hadn't actually looked at the specific Python logic. So if not, os.path.exists directory, then I'm going to put it in a try block just in case. And then helps if I spell it correctly. Whoa, that was cool. That it auto-completed all that. I need to just import it. And so now this code will create the directories for you. You still have to make sure it's writable, but even if you specify like a subdirectory, it'll go ahead and make it for you. I just need to commit this code. So once I commit it and merge it, then all you have to do is specify the save frames dir. And actually, maybe while I'm at it, let me go ahead and just put this in. Where is it? It's down. Oh. Yeah, I need to do that. And save frames dir. And so that will load it correctly. And then is it under, which directory is it? Which is it under? It is under web UI. I don't know why I did that, but web UI. Okay, so we want to do it's not a checkbox. It's going to be, actually, one of them is going to be a checkbox. Save frames. Is it save frames? Save frames. Local save preview frames. Save star preview frames locally. And save frames and plus that, and okay, and we want to do, it's not a checkbox. I'll be done soon. Sorry. Figure I might as well do this now so I don't forget. Save frames base directory. Okay. Does that look reasonable? I can always fix it. I'm not going to commit it during the live stream, but I'll commit it afterwards. Oh, this indentation's wrong. Cool. I think that's right. So after I commit this and merge it, you'll be able to edit it in this SSE config screen. And it will correctly create the nested directories under the save frame dir. Yep. Can we turn off saving JPEG and only save TIFFs? Are you talking about on the Seestar itself? Because no, as far as I know, no. The config.toml is if you if you're in the Raspberry, if you're in the Seestar ALP directory, there's a device directory and it's in there. So let's see. You can see, hold on. Let me move this on screen. So it's right here is the file under Seestar ALP, wherever you have it checked out in device config toml. One thing that bothers me is it's complaining about socket timeout. Although it does look like it's updating, so maybe something else happened. But look at this artifacting right here. I'm gonna definitely, once these are done, I'm going to kick off a dark frame generation on this telescope, because it's definitely having some it's actually, although it's got a good stack drop ratio. I think I did these for half an hour, and this one's almost done. This should be done shortly. So let's see if this finishes up, then what next? We got, let's see, we did get, got the Lion again, Lion Nebula. But again, this is one of those things where I could use a lot more time on the target. And then a new target, which is right next door, is Bernard 369 Dark Nebula. Just making a note. So I have this one. I need to try it with, I mean, because it's got these terrible gradients. Actually, I need to make a note about that. I need to 3D print things. Another dew shield, and I'm gonna try doing a dew shield on both next time, and we'll see if it helps with these like bad gradients. And a filter holder, because what I want to try is this dual band filter I have, to see how it works. And I still need to try equatorial, but I don't want to try it on a live stream. So, because we're having a stretch of clear nights. I mean, I did a live stream Monday. Tuesday, I was imaging, but kind of messing around with Seestar ALP a little bit. And I kind of ended up going to bed early because, yeah, I just ended up going to bed relatively early. But then I'm imaging tonight. I'm not going to image tomorrow or do a live stream tomorrow. And I'll probably do a live stream Friday night. But the one tomorrow, I'm going to be imaging, and maybe that would be a good time for me to start testing out equatorial on one of them. So then if that works, then on Friday I can do an A/B test maybe with equatorial and non-equatorial, which would be cool if I can get it working. So fingers crossed. So this one finished. This one still got a few minutes. So any suggestions on next targets? yeah, the dark nebulas that were suggested, unfortunately, I think are um, all rotated. Now, another thing, since the skies here are going to be nice, are good for a few days, I have there's going to be a sorry, let me make another note before I forget. Uh, bef- um, let's see, what's today? It's the 9th. So the one comet is going to be in a good place. It's going to be very soon. Um, very, very soon. Yeah, I think this is kind of a artistic license here, but the problem is I can't view it from my backyard just because of the bad obstructions. So what I'm probably gonna, if I do a live stream, I might do it somewhere else. I just need to figure out where that is. Um, so right after, so the sun sets here around 7 p.m. and tonight, actually, yeah, right at sunset tomorrow, right at sunset tonight, it would be really close to the sun and right at the horizon. Let me actually. So right at sunset, it would be just above the horizon. It was just above the horizon today, but tomorrow it's going to be like 7 degrees above the horizon, right at sunset. Which, yeah, I mean, if it's like super bright, who knows? Um, but then on the 11th, it's going to be 10 degrees above the horizon. So yeah, we're coming into starting. I mean, it's Wednesday, so Friday is the 11th. So going into the weekend, we're going to start getting into the possibility of being able to, or it'll be visible in the evening in North America. So I'm going to have to try to get out there and image it, but um, may not be able to do a live stream for that. Probably too much since I'm going to have to go somewhere and I don't even know where I'm going to go at this point. I need to figure it out quickly. Um, Veil mosaic, yeah, maybe. Oh, but the problem is the veil was like too high when I checked. Let's see where it is now. Let's see. The veil is, yeah, it's not too high, but it's only got a few minutes left. Not enough time to do. Yeah, it's like minutes away from going behind, I think, my house. This is where it goes back to the whole need to attach it to. Yeah, hopefully you found it. Why is it called sample driver rotator? That's a great question. I think that's just um, how the project started. 16th is what I recommend. Well, to be fair, I might start doing it sooner just so I can scout out a site. Because since I can't do it at my house, um, there's kind of this. I need to go. Luckily it's really, if it works, I could potentially do a live stream from there. But relatively near to my house, there's a kind of a not an industrial park, but it's a pretty open area. It's going to be developed, but there's nothing there now, and it's fairly flat, and I need to figure out how close to the horizon. I think it would have an unobstructed view to the west. The only problem is I don't know. It's over some building that might be all lit up at night, which could be a problem. But I also have a park near here. I need to scope that out. It's not garbage. It's what is it? One man's garbage is another man's treasure. No, I mean it's got some stuff in there that probably could be cleaned up. Because it's based on this default TOML. But yeah, this if you look at when this line was created, that alpaca sample driver rotator is literally, I think, commit one in the project, or definitely one of the first ones. Yeah, initial commit. It's literally the initial commit. So it's been named that for like half a year. Um, and then there's like stuff we've added. Um, and then it has some like example extra Seestars in here. Like it has a primary that's to say commented, uncommented, and then commented out secondary ones. And some of it's just kind of guidance where if you get into the file, I mean, it would, depending on, eventually you wouldn't necessarily have to edit this directly. You could do it in the completely in the web interface. So there is a lot of there is stuff in there. Although funny enough, it didn't have like that save directory thing. I should put that in there. Was it save frame or frames? Save frames. Actually, I should leave it commented out. Save frame. I stir equals current directory. Anyway. So what would be another good target to image? And as I said before, if you haven't liked the video, please like and subscribe. I appreciate it. I wonder if I should do the Wizard Nebula again. I feel like I could get more time on the Wizard Nebula. Easy for me to say. What's this galaxy? Oh, that's the Starburst galaxy. Have both of these finished? Okay, I've got 2 idle telescopes. I need to fix that. I'll go ahead and point one of them at the Wizard Nebula just to get it pointed at something. Sorry. NGC. Didn't mean to do that. Image. NGC 7380. So we'll get this pointing at the wizard. You're a wizard, Harry. Oops, not day. Yeah, probably. I'm not going to do a full hour, but let's do 45 minutes just for grins. And I'm going to crank up the, and I'm going to use the light pollution filter and go and start. And what I need to trigger that, because you can even see in the live view, there's like this red dot there. Like it's got some pretty bad artifacts there. So let me trigger a dark frame generation, and this one still didn't polar align, and so I'm gonna trigger a dark frame generation just to try to clean up the image, hopefully. Yeah, it's it's not in the config file. I mean, it's not predefined in the config file, but looking at the example I will commit, it's under web UI settings. You need to create these 2 lines, make it true, and then save frame stir. but it only saves it while you're in preview mode. It does not save it while you're stacking. I hope to work on that. Yeah. Well, generally, I mean, the goal is not to make people think in Python, which is part of the reason why, you know, we've been, I've been, I'm, I'll take partial credit for it. I've been trying to push to include things like that config screen. Um, this thing Wiley Site came up with just because of, um, yeah, just convenience and usefulness of like trying to see what the heck the telescope's doing. Okay, I created the dark image, so let me go back to live view. M33. Let's try that. I'm gonna do it's interesting. Schedule clear M33. And I'm just gonna start with that. A little bit of time on this. Start 20 minutes. And I'll crank up the gain maybe. Because it's kind of a it could use the extra gain. Oh, don't tell me it's doing this kind of switching back and forth thing again. Where it goes between preview and non-preview. Or, I mean, not preview, preview and stack. Yeah, it's doing that. Let me switch this. That's a bug. And again, I don't know how much of it's a me problem. Yeah, don't know. So, two years from now. I mean, are you trying to save the frames? I mean, because you don't have to save the frames. I mean, or unless you're wanting to kind of mess around with it. I mean, the problem is we're adding all kinds of new stuff. It still has the red dot there. Oh, it's still plate solving. That's fine then. Because this one didn't do the horizontal calibration, of course. Commands. So I can watch this, and then I can go back on this one. I mean, I bounce around mostly because since I'm kind of, showing or kind of creating the schedule on the fly. Whereas if you create a schedule ahead of time, you wouldn't necessarily be bouncing around like I do. Okay. Failed. Oh, well, it's still trying. So hopefully it'll actually get the alignment. I'm sorry. I think yeah, maybe we should yeah, I need to see what. I mean, I know there's a lot of potential pain points, but see what ones that we can most quickly address. And like I just added the ability to be able to edit the save frame functionality inside the app, and so I'll be committing that after the stream. I mean, that one, the reason I didn't put it in the configuration was partly intentional. Someone even asked me about that, and it was because like live view is kind of experimental, but I felt like the frame saving is like really kind of experimental. And so I intentionally didn't surface that in the but I should surface it. I mean, I've been able to use it. Dropped, stacked. It is just dropping frames like crazy. That's very frustrating. And another thing definitely need to do is get have that the cumulative stacked time in the UI, because yeah, the total elapsed time isn't necessarily the most useful thing for anybody probably. Going to my notes. Okay. Okay, and what do I call it? Sorry, I drew a blank. Elapsed imaging time, we'll call it. Or elapsed, or total stack time. Something like that. I'll call it something more sensible, but because that's sorry. Okay. Maybe I'll go ahead and add that tonight as part of this, part of the change I'm going to make. Oh, that's cool. It said star trails. Even gives you the error, so that's handy. Can you force a 3-point alignment? I mean, you can trigger. I think you can trigger it. Let's go look at the commands, and is the polar alignment? If Wiley Sight, if you're there, is it the polar alignment one that forces the 3-point? I think that's what triggers it. Yeah. This is what triggers it. So yeah, I can trigger it manually until it figures it out. Maybe I'll do that. Yeah. Okay. Yes. Confirmed. I was like, not sure how far I was leaned over. I'm like, whoa. Cool. So this is, my signal to noise ratio is infinite. I think that number might not be completely accurate. It's so good, it's infinite signal to noise. There we go. There's M33. It still has that artifact there. And it's not quite centered, but probably because this one isn't polar aligned yet, hasn't quite figured it out. So what I want to do is, and I also cranked up the gain on this one to, was it like 200 or something? No, 150. That's fine. What was I gonna add? There was that point about save frames stir. What were we just talking about? Oh, total stack time. I wonder where that is visible. I'll look at it on this one in the events. Is it here? Working. Yeah, polar line does 3-point. Hello, Hein? M34. Let me see if I can even see that. Oh, red. Is that red? Hein cherry. Let me look at, see if M34 is visible. M34. Ugh, M34. Barely visible. So no, it's not visible. Oh wait, the time's wrong. Okay, it is visible. I'll image that in a sec. But in the meantime, what was I looking for? Let me make that note. M34. I'll queue that up next. I don't think I might have imaged that at some point. What was I going to look up? I was going to, or not look up, I was going to edit. Oh, the total stack time. So that, I have all the logs turned off, I guess, which is understandable. So maybe I can change that on the fly. Change this to debug, save it, and now it is producing too much output. Turn it back, make it stop. Okay. Okay, cool. So I want to look at this off screen to see. It was, if I can see where the elapsed time is on the events. It's a pi status stack. Does that number make sense? So 39 stacked frames. I may just have to multiply it, I think. I think I'll just have to multiply because the Seestar itself doesn't, isn't sending something with that number. I'm just double checking here right now, looking at some of, like looking at this. Good view state. Telescope A had 39 stacked frames at this time, so yeah, it doesn't have any, but that's okay. We'll fix that. Let's fix it. And I'll go live, card status, live, is it live? It's not this one, live status. I need to fix that. I have live card status and live status card. Yeah, that's not the right one. Oh, and I also have live status, which is, of course, obviously the one that I needed to edit. So we have, so I have this, I have the SNR, I have these stats, stacked frame, drop frame, elapsed. I don't know what to call this. Total elapsed time. What would be a good name for that? What would be a good name for that? Because you're not, I mean, it's confusing. I still want to have it there. But what should it be named? If it's not the, I mean, it's the cumulative, it's not the actual amount of time it's been imaging. Yeah. And then the other question is this actually going to be a number? So let's try this. Total stack time. I'll take suggestions if anybody has them. And can I just do this? But then I have to change it to a human readable number. Integration time. Yeah, frames times duration. Yep. Integration time. Yep. I like that. Yep. What Mark said. Yep. Let's do that. Okay, let's make sure that actually total stack time. Cool. Total integration time. Or I'll just call it integration time. And it should, will it actually update on the fly? Or do I have to hit reload? Okay, integration time. Now this is in seconds. Yeah, third that. Cool. We have consensus. So I've got integration time. But what should I call this thing? Which is basically the amount of time it's spent on that target. Total target time? Or something. Total stack time? No, that might be. We'll do integration time. And how can I convert this to human readable? I mean, to a friendly number. Are we actually using anything right now that I could leverage? Time on target, sequence lapse time. Human eyes will convert. Okay, total time. But we're using. I like that. Wasted time. I like that. Human eyes. Okay, so we've got it's human eyes and documentation and human eyes minutes. So do I want to do that? I've also done, I think I've done time delta. Let me see what time delta does. Do I have time delta? Yeah, I actually use time delta too. Oh, I have a human TS. Oh, that's in, well, isn't that convenient? This is actually in the, what I'm using right now. I mean, it's used to generate the screen. So actually that's what I'm doing for these other times are actually not they're not sorry, milliseconds. They're not it's not producing it in this format. I'm actually converting milliseconds into that number. So I'm just going to go ahead and do integration time and human TS. Hessian matrix, no. Human TS, no. Stacked frame. And unfortunately, because it's, okay, so this is going to be incorrect. And actually, I think the number is, no, fine. So I'm multiplying it by 10,000, but I need to make a note that change below time, below multiplier to actual exposure length. Because right now I'm just 10 because it's usually 10. So unfortunately this means I will have to restart. But this one is up to 20 minutes. This one's 15 minutes. I'll stop both of them when they get to once they get to total lapse time of half an hour, 45 minutes. But in the meantime, let me restart. And I can actually also test out this save subframe. I can test out the save subframe addition on the config screen. Make sure that that's working. Okay, why is it thinking? Okay, that that thought a while. So integration time, need to change this. Integration time and get rid of the multiplier. Theoretically, yeah, I need to look at that, why that is complaining. Why did it have a problem with B? Although it did eventually load. Oh, that's lovely. I need to look at that. That's not ideal. But it's loading. Okay. Integration time is... that's not great. That's not what I wanted. Integration tie. It's not integration tie, it's integration time. Let's try that again. There we go. 11. That's not right. What in the world? Huh? 11? Okay, that's cool. Focus on the schedule. That'll be nice. Wait, let me look at my logic or illogic. So state stats integration time. Okay. Stacked frame times 10,000. Is that not actually a thing? But the stacked frame count is 75. And why does it say the integration time is 12 seconds? Stacked frames 76. That doesn't make any sense. That makes 0 sense. Let's see. 77. Okay, stacked frame times 10,000. Integration time. And the stacked frame count. This is seriously strange. Let me get rid of the human TS thing and see what number it's coming up with. And I'm going to just switch this one off. This is starting to get some color in the nebulosity. But, and which one was this again? Andrew C7380. Okay. I'm just going to switch this one to the... I'll switch to the config screen. Okay, so now the directory's there. Save preview frames locally is there. Great. So now, after the stream, Cosmic Array, once I commit that, you'll be able to turn on save star preview frames from inside the app. And actually, yeah, I need to let me see. Okay. Let us see. We have so I was going to restart. And why is this? Oh, that's like an internal problem with within the web server, or one of the web servers. There's actually 3 of them. 3 of them? Yeah, 3 of them. All right. Let's see. Okay, so riddle me that. What is that human TS number showing then? If I'm setting that to the number of milliseconds, so 900,000 milliseconds, 900 seconds, which is 15 minutes. Oh, wait Wait a second. Wait a second. Wait a second. Wait a second. My bad. I think the problem is this human TS, it chops off the last 3 digits, and I think that's not necessary for this case. Okay, fine. And maybe the other cases are actually slightly wrong, but elapsed equals. Okay. Wait. Wait, time delta? String, time delta, milliseconds. Oh, it's milliseconds. Okay, milliseconds. And actually, I could probably do seconds and then get rid of the 10,000. Cool. Let's try this. Restart this. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the closest thing we have is Discord right now. Yeah, the closest thing would be Discord. Yeah. Is this right? 101, 17 minutes of integration time? Looks plausible. I mean, because the total elapsed time, or what is it? Time on target. So which one do people want? Time on target, sequence elapsed time, total time, or wasted time? Yeah, Discord's a morass and forums are a pain. Yeah. No, I mean, there definitely should be something better. I mean, because, I see it on the Discord server where, some of the same questions come up, or similar questions or slightly different questions. Definitely could be more. Well, yeah. Now, one thing is, what is it? Doesn't GitHub have? Let me look at my version of it, since I can modify it if I need to. I mean, I'm not going to modify it, but I'm just saying, like, so they have wiki security. I think there was talk about doing something with the wiki on the main one. Yeah, wiki was turned on, so potentially we could use the wiki for things. Actually, has anybody put anything on the wiki? Not much yet. Oh, there's the beginning of an FAQ. Very beginning of an FAQ. Cool. But settings. I thought there was like something. Didn't they have something, or did they get rid of it? I thought they had. Oh, here, features, issues, sponsorships, discussions. They do have discussions for GitHub. I mean, granted, again, not necessarily the most friendly, but at least it's one less thing you have to manage that's like built into GitHub. Of course, I think it requires you to have a GitHub account to use it, but yeah. But that might be something, or maybe the FAQ needs to be fleshed out more, or maybe all of the above. Maybe the wiki needs to be fleshed out. Yeah. Imaging time. How about hammer time? Hammer time. No? Hammer time? Nobody wants hammer. Yeah. Hammer time. Imaging time. But see, that suggests that like that's how much data you have, which it's not really. Hammer time. I mean, the good thing about hammer times is so confusing. People will be like, I don't know what this means. And it's like, exactly. That's the point. Nobody knows what hammer time is. Okay, maybe they do. Maybe only MC Hammer does. That's not the final name. Although it would be very funny if I forget to change it to something else and then I end up committing it as hammer time. Maybe I'll just, oh, see, that's why that did that. I need to fix this. I need to fix that. My human, I probably need to switch to human eyes. Switch to human eyes because multiples of zeros get truncated. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, pH. No, I mean like that was like PHP BB. You know, it was like it was. There was a lot of stuff on those bulletin boards. Oh. Okay. People are gonna JavaScript browser. Wait for it. BBS. Browser based BBS in a browser. Creating a BBS. Open source. Yeah. Maybe that's what I need to do. Have like a window that brings up a BBS. That would be awesome. I mean, I already have, I don't know, have I showed this before? Yeah, I mean, the biggest problem with a lot of those, I mean, there have definitely been a lot of security related issues with some of those frameworks and even just PHP in general. I feel like maybe they finally gotten, but it definitely had a reputation for being problematic. Console. Oh, I need to, I commented it out. Uh, what do you call it? Here and here and reload. Yeah. See, I have a console. Granted, the formatting needs to be helped. I mean, needs to be worked on, but yeah, I can. I mean, and the reboot actually does reboot the telescope. Like it actually does. It actually talks to the telescope. It actually does. Now the formatting, like I say, is kind of wrong because it's I think the default the problem is like this is an HTML box, but the terminal emulator itself is kind of within it, and it assumes like 80 by 25 um, uh, characters, like a standard terminal. Yeah, yeah. Runtime. Although I do like hammer time. You're gonna make me change it from hammer time. That's gonna be so sad. No, I'll leave it that way. No, I mean I'm not gonna leave it that way. I'll change it. Not hammer time. We'll call it runtime. But I mean, I think the point is still. I think there's still it's still a valid kind of uh, point. Time on target. I like that. Time on target. No, I mean, I don't think it only 12 people will use it, but that said, I have there's I've talked to many people, um, many people who were curious about ALP people I know, people I've met who they don't they don't use Discord. So that's kind of an unnecessary. I mean, a lot of people do use Discord, but that is kind of an unnecessary barrier. And plus, I mean, like some of the forums go by very quick. I mean, some channels go by very quickly. So if you're not there, you'll miss it. And if you ask a question, the answer might be kind of buried. And so it's not the most conducive for I mean, maybe in the beginning it was better, but I know like some of the smart telescope, the telescope underworld one, like sometimes when things get going, I mean, it's not as crazy as some Discord servers, but it's definitely makes it difficult if you're trying to find an answer and you ask a question and it gets almost immediately buried. So the point is a good one, and I don't know that the PHP BB is the answer. I do wonder about the GitHub discussions, like if that requires you to have a GitHub account, which is maybe a little less of a barrier. I don't know. Um, would have to think about that. I mean, the problem is like bulletin boards in general are very what do you call it? They're very not lack of the opposite of centralized. They're very distributed, and so eventually you have to create an account somewhere. But there's not like a very clear like, oh, this is the best place to put it. Um, yeah. But there should definitely be something a bit more user friendly. I mean, more approachable and less. Yeah, like maybe it's a discussion forum. I don't know. Hey! Bulletin boards. I was gonna put a BBS in this thing. I may just do it just because. Yeah, I mean, I have used some forums recently. Um, like I say, there should be. I think it's I do think it's a valid point. Yeah, I just don't know if it's PHP BB. I feel like, and that's the other problem. It's you know, my general preference is to use things that are already on hand, rather than spinning up a whole new thing, which is why I'm kind of wondering about this GitHub discussions. Um, because we already have GitHub. It's in the same place as the code. People don't have to look at the code, but it could be kind of a jumping off point. And that's another thing we could do. Like you can do GitHub pages. We could create a GitHub page where it's actually, instead of going into GitHub itself, you go into a website. That would be another thing that also would be nice that we could possibly do. GitHub page. Old fogey curmudgeon. Hey, like I think all of us have our things, but yeah, I do think I do think we need to come up with something more approachable. So this is imaging. This has that artifact. I'm not thrilled about that. Hammer time. Let me see. Did I change that? I thought I changed it. Time on target. Great. How do we feel about this? Time on target and then integration time? Does that seem more sensible? The other thing is I need to get rid of this elapsed time. I need to make this a little bit more what do you call it? More conditional, because sometimes it's useful, but other times it's just redundant. So let me make a note. I don't know the answer for that. Like, make the below conditional, because basically there's some modes where this isn't or this value is provided but the time on target isn't, like when you're going through kind of the initial stages. And so that's why I added this one. But once you're imaging, it's kind of it's somewhat duplicative. Easy for me to say. So I'm just going to comment this out for now. So how do we feel about this? Integration time and time on target. Info suppository. I like that. I like that. Card 002. You know what? How about this? We only answer questions on TikTok. How about that? How about that? That would be no. Oh, wait a second. Let me look at Discord here. Let's see. Looking at Discord, you have text channels, you have forums. I mean, would that be okay? Techie communities. I mean, how do you? What are the different authentic? Does Discord have third-party authentication? Does Discord have authentication? Third-party authentication? Or do they only let you authenticate yourself? So does GitHub do third party? Because I know they're usually, yeah, they're their own identity. I mean, a forum might be the answer. I mean, a forum somewhere is probably the answer. Whether, I mean, how would people, the problem about, so on the one hand, Discord, I mean, it's a communications tool, a chat tool, a video tool. Originally, I guess, more gamer oriented, but definitely a lot broader now these days than it was years ago. But GitHub still feels more, even though that's where the code is, that would be more developer vibe, right? So maybe a forum on the Smart Underworld Discord server. Let me create I'm going to create a forum on my own server just for shiggles. Oh, they have a stage, host events, panel QA for an audience. I could live stream from, no, I don't know what's that about. Announcements, voice. So forum, the forum. So let me see if I can close out stuff. Okay, fine. So on my Discord server, can I close this out? Is there a way to like hide this? Just trying to, all my, yeah, maybe I'll scroll this up like this. Yeah, that'll work. Cool. But yeah, like there's you can have a forum in Discord. So maybe that's what we do. This is on my server that I just created. I mean this forum. I have to configure it because I just created it, but and then it's like check out the guide. Oh, check out the guide. Create post guidelines, tags, default reaction, make the first post. Yeah, I have seen these. I have been on servers that had forums. Like what do we feel like that? How do we feel about that? Like is it searchable? Um I mean, I imagine it is searchable. Uh yeah, see search or create a post. Like I think that seems reasonable, right? Yeah, so how do you search it? It would be right here. It's like you go into the forum and you can sort these so we could make it at the top. I mean, this is on my server, like I say, but we could create something on the main one and like link to it saying here's the forum, especially, and that way, it would be for specific questions, and then if people want to just hang around for the chat, come for the questions, stay for the community. Um, but then sometimes people come in, ask a question, leave. They could do that on the forum, and we could have, yeah, yeah. I think that might work. Um, hey, Chris makes that. How are you? Welcome to the stream. And um, the making some good in-depth videos. That's a good point. Because right now, like I've done not that much of it video wise. I mean, I show stuff off on the live stream, but that's like Discord. Um, as far as just kind of going by, like you could anyway. But then like there's some other videos, and the problem is things get updated so quickly, like they get out of date very quickly. And I've been wanting to take a crack at some more videos, but maybe, yeah, yeah. I mean that would be helpful. I think honestly, I think they're all good suggestions. I think uh, at the end of the day, it's going to be a multi-prong approach. I mean, videos are great, but there was a time, maybe it was 5 years ago, where maybe it was closer to 10 years ago, where I would not go looking for answers on YouTube. I resisted it for longer than I probably should have. Now I do everything on YouTube, but maybe it was like 10 years ago. Because I had conversations with um, people who were definitely generationally younger than me who would go to YouTube first, and I wasn't at that point yet. I mean, I would look for the answers like textually through Google, but yeah, I think all these, I think something like a forum, because the chat kind of, it's sometimes harder to hone in on what you want or find the answer. I mean, like some of it's already in there. It's just hard to awkward to navigate. Whereas a forum might be a bit more structured. Videos would be good. Definitely more videos. Um, yeah. Oh, good. Oh, nice. Job orientation tomorrow. That's great. I mean, I know how that goes. I've been through that not too long ago myself. Um, so is this running? Okay, this is running. Okay. Yeah, I think I said I was going to let it go to, now that I have this integration time, I'm like wanting to target this number instead of the time on target. And I should switch this one over. What's this one looking like? But yeah, I do think I do think Discord forums might be a good thing to add to the mix. Um, just especially for yeah. And the again, it goes to my whole thing of not wanting to create another thing, like a separate thing to manage in a separate place. So by having a forum in Discord, the person still has to create a Discord account, but they don't have to like look at all the chat. And we could make it clear that, you know, like here's a link to the forum in Discord, but otherwise there's also like tons of channels for more real time, perhaps, interaction. This is turning out nicely. Yeah. M33. I my skies just suck. Like I've gotten 37 minutes on this and it doesn't seem to be getting much better. Like once I process it it's better, but it's abysmal. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I mean, I've learned a lot about a bunch of things using the videos. So videos would be good. I do think I do like the forum idea. I'm just hesitant to like create a separate thing. I mean, not a separate thing, but a thing in a separate place. Um, yeah, okay. So this is starting to get some rotation in it. You can see by the artifact. So I should probably, because I restarted it, the schedule's never going to stop until I stop it manually. Yeah. What new present? Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, and it could be discussed and kind of built out, but it might be good to start with that. One thing I have been trying to, I've been wanting to do, I don't know where my thought just kind of went went away. Um, oh yeah, like, I mean, another example of things that I've wanted to kind of play around with on the Smart Underground Discord server, which is kind of the Discord server associated with the project itself. Um, there is we have this ultra stack competition where every month there's some different targets. People pool their data, and then you know there's a target picked in the northern hemisphere, southern hemisphere, and recently a mosaic got added to the mix. Dump all the images, all your frames out there or stacks, and then people process it into a very high quality, rich image. But I've seen on another Discord server where they had it arranged differently. Instead of just chat, it was more of a almost like an album structure. And I was thinking we should add something like that for some of the stacks, because then like you're going through the chat, but then others, you know, some of the images get lost in the shuffle. So I think there's some other things in Discord we could definitely leverage. But the forum, I think that might be a good one to try out. Yeah, yeah. I mean the mosaic and I mean I'll process the individual frames in Serial, but then I've been using that ASTAP software to combine the panels together. Maybe I'll do that. You know what? Maybe let me make a note. Maybe this weekend, if I do a live stream Friday and Saturday or just Friday, maybe I'll actually do a mosaic of like the Heart Nebula or something. Maybe that's too ambitious, but I'll pick some target, do a mosaic of it, and then maybe try to do a quick process of it during the stream. Um, partly it's useful because I know Wiley Sight knows that I'll do a lot of imaging and then I won't necessarily process it manually. Like sometimes it'll be months later. I'll go back and uh, scrape together all the data I collected before and then process it. And then, yeah. Need to join that one. Yeah. No, it can be lively at times. I mean, there's so many Discord servers out there. Like I'm on a couple of Seestar ones, I think. And then like some other astronomy oriented ones. Like there was one having to do with a particular telescope mount company that I ended up on. Um, but yeah, like my personal time to actually spend on Discord for like chat, it kind of comes and goes. Um, so I think both of these are done. I don't think I want to spend any more time on this one. So let us see. I had a suggestion for M34, which I want to try out um, just because that one, I'm not sure if I imaged it, and if I have, it's been a while. It's an open cluster. So this one should be done. Is it actually done? Did I actually? There we go. Sometimes there's a little delay. Okay, let's go image. No, for some reason I like doing the schedule. I do image in the schedule. Maybe I should just do image. Image M34. I don't need the light pollution filter. I'll do 20 minutes. And maybe I'll do a little bit more gain. Okay. And then go to live view. All right. And so what other targets do I want to image tonight? Let me move this off. But yeah, I'm gonna play around with the forum on my server tonight or tomorrow, and I'll because I think that might be a good option. I mean, specifically, like I say, in on Discord because then it's just one place instead of having it kind of all everything's scattered up about even more than it is. Um, sorry. Okay. And of course, speaking of, I'll do a plug for my Discord server. And also, if you haven't liked and subscribed, please go down and like and or subscribe if you haven't already. It does help. Oh, by the way, has anybody actually what other target should I do over here? Oh wait, sorry, I had a note of something. Maybe the silver sliver. Maybe I could do that. Although, is it too late for this? 891. 891. 91. Is this even right time? Oh no, I was behind on the time. Okay, great. This one's perfect. 891. At the posting images, text, info stuff, having channels that only mods can post. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I mean there's some stuff that is this okay, it's just one frame. So this one shouldn't be stopped. It needs to be stopped. And I'm going to try NGC 891. Because I think that was suggested, but I think I either had a problem, either ran out of time, or there was some other problem. So let's go back to this. I need to fix that when it does that. I need to look into that. I also need to look at fixing that issue where it kind of flaps back and forth. Well, isn't that good? The total stack time in live view I had as a thing to do maybe tomorrow. It's done. Just need to commit it after the stream. What in the world? Why am I getting an error? What? Front 1769? That's not right. Wait, that's not even, how can that? It claims it's 7. It's giving me an error on a comment line. That doesn't seem right at all. Is this actually updating? Okay, this is updating. So at least this is doing something. This one is not happy with itself. Did I target something over here? Or no? Did I not? Did I? Am I? Check the battery. I don't think the battery's a problem. I have them plugged in. Yeah, it's 100%. So let's go image, NGC 891. Look it up. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I just thought about it. And unfortunately, there isn't any telepathic control yet. 891. Oh no, I don't want to do a light. Don't want to do a light pollution filter on that. It's a galaxy. So I'm going to do 45 minutes. Submit that. Go to live view. Okay, now it's figuring it out. Okay, cool. So, one galaxy coming up. I need to take a sip of water. I keep let us see. Making notes here. Okay. All right. So what next? This is thinking about it. And this one's doing well. It's not dropping any frames thus far. Nice little M34, little open cluster. And so this should start imaging. Okay. Did we see the silver sliver yet? One thing we should definitely have is, like, we have the target, but there should also be some more information maybe about, yeah, I don't know. I keep thinking like, well, gain would be nice. Oh, infinite signal to noise. That's awesome. These telescopes are so amazing. They have infinite signal to noise. Just waiting for it to get enough data so I can start seeing where it is. Is it here? And this one doesn't need a ton of time. Yeah, this is cool. So time on target 6.5 minutes, but only 5.5 minutes of integration time. And yeah. So actually that includes, yeah, so that number is actually even less useful potentially because it must also include the initial finding the target. Because yeah, it spent like, because it hasn't, like the dither I have set to every 25 frames, so it would have only dithered once. So the fact it's a minute 20 behind the integration time. Yeah, here it is. Here's the galactic. It's kind of faint, but here's the, I mean, it doesn't have much time right now, only 12 stacked frames, but I think it's going to be right here, that galaxy. What else? Just wonder about this JavaScript bulletin boards. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff. Why not? VBS in a browser. No. Bulletin board. Oh, there are 1,000 VBS and related systems. Oh yeah, look at that. Oh, that's a command window. Not quite the same. Yeah. Yeah. Or target runtime. Yeah, maybe target runtime. Because it's not really the total runtime if you have multiple targets. I don't know. Needs some consideration. Contemplation. Quiet contemplation. Yeah, see here. It's starting to, the silver sliver. It's just starting to kind of show up. One thing I do right now, because we had the what do you call it, the gradient removal that it already does, or not gradient removal, the stretching, like this code, and then the SNR code was added recently. At one point I'd been playing around with background extraction. I should probably I ended up moving it, creating an imaging directory to kind of put all that stuff. So at some point I need to revisit that because it would be nice to have it remove the gradient as it's going, just so, yeah, clean up the image a little bit. Maybe we could AI enhance it, or just enhance it. Um, uh, I mean, this time, like when it stops the target, or goes to another target, this number starts over. Um, and it would even, I mean, that would even apply to mosaics, because each panel is like a separate target. Stacking is doing pretty well. Both of them are actually not failing. Does that mean it finally horizontally calibrated? Yeah, this was the one that was having the problems. This one already was polar aligned, but this one finally figured it out. Yeah. What other kind of, wait. Okay, good. Doesn't look too bad tonight. I mean, the nice thing is it's going to be like this for, it might be like this for several days. I can even, let me look at planning. Have there been any other changes that I'm missing? Let's see. But I don't have to go to the Astrospheric website. I can just look at it here. Oh, except it only shows kind of the recent one. It doesn't show the later one. But yeah, the conditions here look pretty good. I mean, at least for here. I mean, transparency tonight's below average. But Friday night, yeah, about the same. Saturday night, yeah, I was just thinking, like, if I tried to do a live stream for when I'm looking at the comet, that could end up being a problem, because, or it could go either way, because I did try to do a live stream of an International Space Station transit across the sun, and I drove somewhere, and like 10, 15 miles from here. It was, I mean, it was in the metro area, but of course, and I scouted out. I mean, I figured out on a map like this park I could go to, so I figured I could kind of move around, and maybe it was during the week, so I figured there wouldn't be many people there. And I get there, and I set up, and the first problem I had is, actually, that was maybe the main problem I had. The telescope. It was before I had Seestar Alp. I was using the app, and I tried to go to the sun, and it kept. I mean, I was still relatively new to the Seestar. It was like over half a year ago. It was before the solar eclipse. Anyway, it kept getting into this not horizontal calibration, but the compass calibration loop, because it was trying to find the sun and it wanted to know which direction it was. I think the problem was I had it too close to my car, and I think it was completely messing it up. And I kept doing the horizontal calibration over and over again. And then, yeah, anyway. And then I think I tried to get the connection going, and then I was having cellular connection issues because I was trying to stream to my through my phone, and so the whole thing was a total bust. So I guess that's why I'm kind of leery about doing the remote comet viewing session, unless I got there way ahead of time. But even then, not a. I think I ended up with the worst of all possible worlds, because like first I had problems with the calibration, but then I was messing around with the phone, and if I would have just gone ahead and recorded, I could have at least captured the transit. Um, but I missed the transit and wasn't able to live stream. So, um, I mean, it's not a huge deal, but it just reminded me that I might need to rethink my trying to do either that or I just need to have a better setup for doing that. But yeah, look at this. Like I might actually have some good skies like all the way through like the following week. Or I mean, yeah, all the way. I mean, that's pretty solid. So we'll see. We'll see. We shall see. Oh yeah, look, you can really see it now. One thing that speaking of new features, someone just I think Kai asked if you could zoom in on the image in the browser. Um, I guess a different way besides the way I do it, which is like pinch to zoom. But yeah, you can see that the silver sliver. Total time since the start of the first successful sub. Right. Oh gosh. Let me make a note of that because I think we'd have to compute that. Um, yeah, I mean, especially I know I have these. I mean, I've had it today where it would go like 10 frames. Like I'd start imaging a target and the first 10 frames were all failures. So yeah, the first one could take a while. Time since first successful frame. Yeah. I mean, if we start having more stats, I mean, because right now we only have, yeah, maybe they're. I'm just trying to think of how we would do that exactly, but we're starting to run into these kind of things we want to do where we're going to have to kind of collect stats about subframes, but then like this live view, it's just kind of showing you the data and then it doesn't remember it at all. But now we're starting to talk about things where we keep the information, but then we can do things like that where you could say how long it had been, like metrics that the Seestar doesn't provide, but that we could compute if we just saved more information as we're imaging, like trend lines on SNR, uh, for example, or the I always forget the F full width something half height, something like that. Like capturing that over time too. Oh yeah, nice. Yeah. Oh, that would be nice. I mean, for me, I've there've been transits that went over my house, but it was always cloudy, and so I ended up just going ahead and driving. I mean, not that far, but I kind of gave up on new tab stats page. So like stats on the images. I had thought about like an analysis. Yeah, maybe not analysis. But did this one finish? This one finished. So I need to find a different target for the right one. Got to keep the telescopes busy. I did the lion. Is the cave not visible? Or did that finally? Actually, let me just look at some of my history here. Yeah, cave. The cave is visible, but for how long? For how long? An hour? Maybe. So we'll try. Maybe we'll do the cave. since we did the line. Whoa. So what else do I want to image? Or what else do we want to image besides that? Anything else? Maybe look down here, things that have just risen that maybe I haven't been able to image. Wow, there's some, what are these? Well, look at this cluster of dark nebula. Except how dark are they? They're so dark. They're just totally dark. That's when I like switch catalogs to see if there's some, what these actually look like. While it's loading. Yeah. 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 And there's, and like I say, that full width. I always forget why do I always forget that full width? What is it? Yeah, full width half maximum. I like flip letters around, but yeah, that calculation. And kind of being able to do it over time. Yeah. So any other target suggestions? Yeah, this one may be too, that one would be hard, especially in my skies. Like that's subtle. I mean, it's cool, but it's so subtle. What else is down here? Let's see. Jolly Roger. Roger that. Petric starfish. That one still cracks me up. Spiral cluster. I always get. Oh, that's what we're imaging right now. The silver sliver. Say that 10 times real fast. Silver sliver. Yeah, no. Triangulum. I got that. It's a little slower because I have like this catalog on. I feel like I need to do the Heart Nebula, but I might do that Friday. I think I'll do that Friday. I think I'll actually, maybe I'll dedicate the one telescope to a what do you call it? Sorry, I'm like distracted. Dedicate one telescope to doing the Heart Nebula. And Cave Nebula. Again, the problem is the west is just abysmal for me, and so like all these good targets are starting to rotate off that way. Well, so let me look towards the south and see what might be rotating into view. Oh, Neptune's there. Unfortunately, I haven't added the planet support to live view yet, so although we can look it up. We could go to Neptune. Maybe I'll just do Neptune real quick, just for the sake. Let's do that. So, since we can now pick planet, I haven't imaged Neptune recently, I think. So I'll go to that. It's not J2000, it's J now. So I hit submit. And then I go to live view. And oh, it's having to go to, although it's in star mode, which is actually probably fine for Neptune because it's relatively, like, what's the brightness on Neptune? Yeah, not too bad. 7.69 magnitude. Oh, Helix is visible. Darn it. I'll do Helix next. I just feel like I need to get so much more time on there. And just maybe I'll crank up the gain a lot. Like, let me try 200 gain or something. I'm just kind of curious how that'll work. Yeah, okay. Cool. Cool. And oh, and I presume it's that blue dot in the middle. So let's try recording. And I'll record. I mean, I probably don't need to record too long. I mean, it's a relatively bright target. I mean, it shows up in live view. But this is turning out nice. That's off to a great start when the first frame is dropped. Oh, hey. Whoa. What? Oh, no. That's misleading. That's the last live stack. Oh, yeah. No, that's I need to fix that. Right now it fetches the last live stack when anyway, it's a long story, but now it should start fetching the right one. But yeah, I won't. Okay, there it is. Or that's the preview. And wait, did that one didn't have a light pollution filter on, did it? Did this one have the light pollution filter? I feel like this isn't. No, this is the live view still. It hasn't showed the stack yet. I hope that's the case, because otherwise that's terrible. Field frames, Wi-Fi signal, yada yada yada. Commands. Okay. Good night, Dark Shades. Thanks for joining. Appreciate it. Have a good night. So let's see, what is this in here? I want to check the light pollution state. I mean the wheel filter state. Does it? Oh, it's on an IR cut. Never mind. It's right there. It was right in front of me. So this is the silver sliver, and now Neptune should be on the right. And if you haven't liked the video, please like the video. If you aren't subscribed, please subscribe. And thanks for joining. I'm just waiting for this to load. Okay, that's Neptune, I'm guessing. Right there. There is Neptune. And what I really need to do is I need to go back to my Pluto animation. Now that I have several nights in a row, there's really no excuse. I mean, it's too late now, I think, because when would it be visible? Okay. So I have to image that first thing. Or soon after first thing. But yeah, that speaking of times, right now I'm starting because I try to start the live stream about 1 hour after sunset, and right now that's about sunset's around 7 here, so I have the live stream at 8, and by the end of the month it'll probably be down to 7:30. But I'm thinking once we go back out of daylight savings time and it switches an hour, I'm not going to switch it to like 6:30. I think the earliest I'm going to start the live stream is 7 p.m. my time, which would be 8 US Eastern, and then 5 p.m. Pacific time. Just because I don't know, I don't want to start too early. Maybe I will sometime, because by December it's going to be pretty. Like, when does the sun set here in December? Maybe I'll do that sometimes, like on weekends. Maybe not during the week, but like December. Let me do it over here. December, Houston sunset. It would be in December as early as 5:30. I mean, because we're not as far north, so the earliest sunset we have is 5:30 in December. Is that right? I guess that's as early. I mean, 5:20. Yeah, so 5:20 doesn't seem right. Yeah, I guess 5:20 is about as early as it gets here, which is fine. But yeah, maybe I will have some nights where I'll start at like 6:30 U.S. Central, but we'll see. Play it by ear. Okay, I'm not going to go too crazy on this one. I'm just going to go ahead and stop. But this is Neptune. Way too small to resolve it, but there it is. So I will stop that. And what next? I was going to do Helix Nebula. That is what is Helix? I always like using it's NGC 7293. Look it up. And I'll do 45 minutes. Light pollution filter. And I'm going to crank up the gain to 200. Just because. And let's see. Actually, one thing I didn't check is. Okay, cool. That worked. So let's go live view. So this will be an interesting test with the gain much higher. So we shall see what we shall see. But let's see. Okay, so it's well, I mean, I didn't think, yeah, it's relatively close to Neptune in the sky. So yeah, it's already there. And then I think at this point, these might be the last targets I end up doing tonight. It is just a Wednesday, so I will be doing another live stream on Friday. Probably, yeah, starting at the same time around 8 p.m. I never built the Raspberry Pi image. I'll do it next time, and I'll do it like the way I wanted to do it, where I'm using this mini PC that I have sitting in front. That gives me 2 whole days to actually get things set up. And really, there's no excuse because I sit in this room all day. I did? Well, now it's gone. But yeah, that would be cool. I need to process that just to see if I can get it. I mean, to kind of get more detail out. I think this is just the live view. I don't think this is the stack yet because there would be more background stars. But we'll see how bad this is with a 200 SNR. I mean, not 200 SNR, 200 gain. This pixel. I wonder I wonder if I should stop it again and try another, force another dark frame. I might. I'll wait until the stack starts and then. Is it actually stack? Is that actually the stack? Because that seems kind of. That's like super noisy. Yeah, that's not the live view. Hmm. Is that the stack? Yeah, that's the stack. And look at these red artifacts here. The yeah, look at it. You can see it kind of walking along. Let me see. I'm just making another note. Hold on. Yeah, the eye is hard to get. Yeah, pushing the gain. It was kind of an experiment. Oh wow, look at, whoa. This is gonna be interesting. Are you starting to see like all these lines here? Like there's so much. Wow, this is gonna, I'm actually I might let it go for a little bit longer so you can just see an example of what I saw the other night when it just went haywire, the noise, specifically on this telescope. Yeah, I think I'm going to let this one go a bit longer because, I mean, I don't know if it shows up on YouTube. Like, there's all these, like, green lines all over the place, horizontal lines, tiny, short ones that are about the length of this red one. Although the target I was imaging was higher up in the sky, so there was a lot of field rotation. So it was like kind of what were those things? It's so you have like the kaleidoscope, but what were the things where you it was like a spinning disc and you could put paint on it or something or whatever. Anyway, it just kind of looked like this big swirling mess because all the artifacts were kind of swirling and they were all like RGB colors, not at all subtle. Wow. That's, how much is that? 21, 3.5 minutes. Actually, so 100, 183, 186 after. Well, let me get to, I'll let it get to 4 minutes and then I'm going to stop it. And then I might force the dark frame. Just, I mean, the temperature's changed a bit. Okay, SNR is like 188. Okay, so I'm gonna stop this. Go to force a dark frame. And, okay, it's canceled, fail rate. So let's go. I sometimes have a hard time. Okay. So once this image, once it gets its dark frame, we will go ahead and go back to the target, and maybe I'll try doing 110 for the gain this time, maybe. Maybe. Row. Row, 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 row. Okay, let's see. Okay, so row. Go to row. Okay. Is it this one? Is that one? Is that the one you're talking about? That's a very interesting one. Very blue. Oh, I'm looking at, I was looking at earlier, so let's look at now. Because I was looking at Pluto. It is well below the horizon. It would have been above the horizon. Yeah, just barely. The problem is it's very low for me. Like, it's, I hate it when it does that. It's very low. And I think it might be something, maybe a different time of year. But even then, I'm not sure. Let me go back to, yeah, so it's above the horizon, like when it's not even that too, I mean, where it's not dark enough. So the question is, it would have been, that would have been better like, yeah, a month ago for me. Yeah, because right now it's getting kind of low. Yeah, somewhere August or September would have been good. Well, actually, maybe not even then because the sun was setting later. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's achievable for me, but I'd have to figure out when the best time would be for it. Um, but something to consider. That looks like an interesting one, if that's the one. Yeah, yeah, that looks red blue. Yeah, that would be really cool. So helix in EQ mode. Let me look. Um, and I'm gonna make a note about this row. Ophiuchi or however. But like I say, that one might be kind of a stretch for me. Let me see. Let's look at Discord. Of course, it's like, okay. Wow, nice. This is what Wiley site got of Helix. Nice, but that was how long of an exposure was that? And that was in EQ mode. Oh wait, he mentioned in Discord it was 434 frames, so yeah, over an hour. Nice. That looks nice. Okay, the dark frame is done, so let's go back. Actually, what I want to do is image. I'm going to try NGC. Yeah, 400. Okay, July is the best time for that one. And it's 434 frames. NGC 7293. Search. Maybe I'll do 110. That 200 was a bit much. Yeah, that was at Bortle 9. It was Bortle 9. But let's see. Image live. Yeah, one thing. What happened? Oh, it claims it's running. Maybe it's one of those things where it. Oh. Oh. This is a bug. a bug I've caused. The problem is when I hit stop on live view, and if you already have a schedule running, it doesn't stop the schedule. It just stops the imaging on the Seestar, so it kind of bypasses, and that's a bug that I need to fix. It's on my list, but it produces some unexpected behavior, like the schedule was stopped, or the schedule wasn't stopped. It thought it was still running, so it wouldn't allow me to do, like, create a new, uh, to replace that schedule. And so, yeah, much to do. All right, let's go live. Okay, it's actually working. So this is turning out nice. How much? We're up to 35 minutes. No dropped frames. That's surprising, but I'll take it. I'm gonna have a sip of water. All right. Just waiting for a stacked frame. And really, it shouldn't show the SNR when there aren't any frames. It is kind of funny. It's like we have signal the noise. It's this. I think it's the signal noise of the loading screen. I mean, it's definitely not optimal. Okay. Okay, so there's the first little bit of it. Oh no, it actually hasn't. Oh, just one stack finally. One frame. So this is only with 100 and, well, I think it's showing live frames. It'll start, the stack will start showing up. But it was 110 gain, I think. And it's interesting, like this one has these artifacts that this one does not. Very interesting. I do keep going back and forth. Like if they do come out with a different Seestar S50, I'd be half tempted to pick up another one, but we'll see. Yeah, this is still in live view. It hasn't showed the stack yet. Okay. Oh, bad transparency. I mean, supposedly mine isn't great. Mine is below average, but it's workable. It's workable. I don't know why this thing is. Yeah, everything's fine. Wait. Oh, barely see stars. Yeah, no, that's bad if you can't see stars. Let's see where we are here. Yeah, I mean it looks about normal for me. I mean mine's pretty abysmal on a good day, but I mean this looks about normal for me. Not great, but yeah. Actually, did I? Are there any more? Oh, this was last night when I was testing out, when I was doing some. This was last night when I was. I didn't have a live stream, but I was doing some testing, and so you can see. I mean, it looks about the same as it does tonight. And yes, this is with all the lights turned off in the backyard. Yep. And then that's with a patio light because I was about to bring everything in. Let me go back and look at view on this. That's not good. Yeah. Recalibrated EQ. That's a drag. Did I not? Oh, it's still thinking. I should close this one. And is it actually? Oh, okay. This isn't. Why is it doing this? And it's giving me an error on a line with a comment. That makes no sense. I thought the first time it was like a fluke, but it just did it again. Socket timeout. That's not. Yeah. I mean, I think it's about the same for. I mean, I think like tonight it's claiming below average transparency but average seeing, and tomorrow's going to be average and average, or not tomorrow but Friday. Tomorrow's average and average, and then below average on transparency. But like mine is rarely like great. I mean, this is like during daylight hours it's going to be excellent seeing. I mean, maybe time to break out my solar telescope, but it doesn't help me at night. Um, I wonder if I have to just restart this. It's been going for, I don't know why this threw an error. Is that even running? So odd. Oh, it said connected, so will it come up this time? I do not understand this. It's claiming it's having an exception on the line with. That makes no sense. I'm just going to restart this. And I mean, unfortunately, it wipes out the schedule. Okay, fine. Reload that, fine. Favorites get select by best date to image. That would be interesting. That would be interesting. I wonder if they have like an API or something. Wait, why is it saying none? Divide by 0? What? Uh, 26. That's a new one. I'm just gonna. I'm just gonna return. Is there a nan? I'll just return none. Don't know what's going on with that. Why it suddenly is like blowing up on SNR. What happened to this telescope? I thought it was still imaging. Did it stop? Oh, it hasn't. Wait, and why? This one's squashed. But why? this is really strange. Let me go look at the stats. See what's going on with this. With this telescope. It says it's idle. Oh, I thought it was imaging the silver. Maybe it had actually stopped imaging it when I stopped it. Maybe. Even then, that's shouldn't be throwing that exception. Very weird. Okay. Well, so I guess this one's done. This one's going. So is there something I can point this one at just for a little bit? Helix Nebula. Got that in progress. Oh. Okay. Okay. Oh, this one is see this dark line? That means it's I need to stop this one because it's starting to intersect with a building. So I got 8 minutes of data on it. Front scheduler front. There's all kinds of like, why is it suddenly like having issues? Sorry, before I forget this, let me go look at this. 2089. Oh, 506. Pi dash dot get. Is that right? Let me see what's the. Okay, path. Okay, so I'm going to try. This is just an experiment. Pi dash dot get. And then I'll do value dot state. And let's see. Default. Yeah, we'll see it like that. See if it's happier with that. Doing a little of the live coding. Okay. Interesting. Why is it like giving me slow responses? Okay, this isn't blowing up now. And this is not blowing up. But I canceled this one, so is there anything else I want to image, or maybe I just call it a night? I mean, it is midnight local time. I might just check something real quick here. This comet here, the C20, because this one, okay, so it says 13th magnitude still, so this will be a good one to keep an eye on. Because that'll be later in the month, that comet. The other one will be in a few days. So I think I will have a live stream on Friday, same bat time, same bat channel, 8 p.m. US Central. And I might go later since it's a Friday night. Also, I do plan on, I keep saying this every time, but I need to build a new image for the Pi. So instead of live coding, maybe I'll be live building a Raspberry Pi image. And I even had gotten the Pi. Did I bent a pin on this? I had even gotten this particular Raspberry Pi over here, so I could even test the image. So I think I need to do a little bit more setup here at the table. But once I do, I think it'll be good. I could have the Pi. I can have the Yeah. I need to think about how I'm going to set that up, but that could be cool because then it would be a realistic. I either do it on this one or I do it on the Pi 5. Maybe I'll do it on the Pi 5 for speed's sake. Just as far as like booting it up and kind of getting on with things. So look for that and more live observing. It'll be good conditions. The moon will start interfering a little bit more, I think. Let's see. Let's look at that, what that's going to look like at, like if I start imaging at 8 p.m. on the 11th. Oops. Yeah, see, look, the, I don't know what to call it, maybe the window, the little canyon between buildings to my south. The moon will kind of pop through there right around the time I'd start imaging tomorrow. So that would be another reason not to start imaging, not to do a live stream tomorrow, because the moon will definitely be shining on the telescopes when I'd start it. Whereas then again, it's not much better on Friday, but within by 10, it would be completely hidden by buildings again. So maybe I start. Actually, let me jumping around here. Let me try Pluto. Let's see what Pluto's like. If I can even image it. Yeah, I might not be able to start my Pluto imaging on Friday, but because the moon will be pretty close, maybe I'll do it anyway. I could clean up some of the noise, I mean the gradient. But yeah, so Friday, look for a new live stream. And thanks for joining tonight. If you haven't liked and subscribed, please do that now. And on your way out. And I appreciate everybody for joining. And I think, yeah, that's if anybody has anything else to say. Yeah, okay. Yeah, favorites list. Have the figure. I love that. I love that. I could have the I don't know. I'll have to figure it maybe. Yeah, I have some ideas. Thanks for that, and thanks Turf for showing for being here. Appreciate it. And like I say, Friday same time, probably for longer. Friday evening. Might even do something Saturday since the conditions will be good too. So might do a back to back. And until next time, clear skies. Have a good evening.